Modi's big development push in West Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister lays the foundation stone for the Jewar Airport. Development bugle in election-bound state. Politics booms over Jewar Airport. A credit war erupts.
एक तरफ तो हवाई अड्डा बेच रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ हवाई अड्डा बना रहे हैं। कौन भरोसा करेगा इन पर?
उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ये जानती है कि इसकी रूपरेखा सुश्री मायावती जी ने रखी थी और वो चाहती थी कि वहाँ पर आज से लगभग 10 वर्ष पहले ये एयरपोर्ट बने।
Because airstrip in Kisan land. Can development BALM fill farm law wounds? Top focus at 7:30 p.m.
Warm welcome viewers, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. On a day when Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone for the Noida International Airport, politics has also taken centre stage. Prime Minister Modi hit out at past governments, saying that despite airports being cleared for 20 years, governments kept mega projects on hold. Not only that, the Prime Minister accused past governments of inaugurating infrastructure projects for their own personal gain. Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath took it a step further, taking a direct jibe at Akhilesh Yadav on his Jinnah remark. The Chief Minister said that very few are believing in disrupting harmony and believe in zero development. All these barbs come after opposition leaders took on the Prime Minister and the CM over the Jewar Airport project. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav said that the Jewar Airport, which was inaugurated today, was in a slew of inaugurations and later the government will sell them to private players. Congress's Priyanka Gandhi questioned on why the government hasn't paid compensation to farmers who have been displaced due to the airport project.
गन्ने की मिठास को कुछ लोगों ने कड़वाहट में बदल करके यहां पर दंगों की एक जो श्रृंखला खड़ी की थी, आज ये देश के अंदर एक नया द्वंद्व बना है कि देश गन्ने की मिठास को एक नई उड़ान देगा या जिन्ना के अनुयायियों से फिर दंगा करवाने की शरारत करवाएगा। और यही तय करने के लिए आज आप सबका आह्वान करने के लिए मैं स्वयं आपके बीच यहां पर उपस्थित हुआ हूं।
आज हर वर्ग के लोग दुखी हैं। इतना अन्याय, इतने दुख तकलीफ किसी सरकार ने नहीं दी होगी, इतनी परेशानी किसी सरकार ने नहीं दी होगी जितना भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने आम जनता को परेशानी और तकलीफ देने का काम किया है। एक तरफ तो हवाई अड्डा बेच रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ हवाई अड्डा बना रहे हैं। कौन भरोसा करेगा इन पर? ये सरकार का हवाई अड्डा बिक गया। सरकार एक हवाई अड्डा बना रही है, हवाई जहाज भी बेच दिए, हवाई जहाज जहां खड़े होते हैं वो एयरपोर्ट भी बेच दिया। और जो हवाई जहाज के गणित समझेगा वो सोचेगा क्या गणित है हवाई जहाज का। जितने भी एयरपोर्ट बने हैं सब घाटे में हैं।
यूपी में पहले जो सरकार थी उसने तो बकायदा चिट्ठी लिखकर तब की केंद्र सरकार को कह दिया था इस एयरपोर्ट के प्रोजेक्ट को बंद कर दिया जाए। अब डबल इंजन की सरकार के प्रयासों से आज हम उसी एयरपोर्ट के भूमि पूजन के साक्षी बन रहे हैं।
All right, viewers. So the Prime Minister has landed his development aircraft on an airstrip which is bang in the Kisan heartland of Uttar Pradesh. Will it prove to be a balm on the raw wounds which many are carrying due to the farm laws? Well, we'll only find out later, but politics is booming. Let me cut across right now to our panelists. Juhi Singh, spokesperson, Samajwadi Party, joins me. So does Gopal Krishna Agrawal, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, as well as Pankhudi Pathak, spokesperson, Congress. Juhi Singh, what is the contention of the Samajwadi Party? You know, the fact is, with development, the biggest sign of development is it makes things easier for people. And you must admit that an airport in Jewar, an international airport in Jewar, is a boon for people in this area.
Preeti, I think it's sad that the Prime Minister's remarks are incorrect, or at least factually incorrect. The Jewar Airport proposal was submitted by the BSP, by the SP. We were waiting for clearances, which was not granted. The Firozabad Airport clearances were also not granted. Kushinagar, another clearance we were waiting, which was kept waiting for a long time, till about, I think, 2 months ago, when the Prime Minister chose to inaugurate it, while we had already submitted the proposal. The Lucknow Metro, a similar thing happened. The Kanpur Metro, AIMS, the land was allotted. Not any progress again from the central government. So when he says that the projects were pending, he might be actually talking about himself and Yogi Adityanath. Samajwadi Party is one party which has always talked about development, but we will talk about facts also. We await the bullet train coming, which the Prime Minister had talked about. He's talked about the 5 airports, out of which the Kushinagar proposal was there, Jewar was there. Certain farmers are still awaiting the proposal. What was a technical hitch where suddenly the compensation with areas were notified from rural to urban, and people were not given the 4 times compensation, which the farmers were asking. These are the issues which the government has to deal with. Rest, we're all okay with development, but let's give the due credit to where it is due.
Yes. But, you know, Juhi Singh, before I go to Gopal, Krishna Agrawal, and our Congress spokesperson, I want to ask you, isn't this the benefit of a double-engine sarkar which the government is selling? BJP at the centre, BJP at the state will make things easier, your projects will get passed quickly. This is exactly what the government is selling.
Preeti, after 4.5 years, now the government is talking about advantages of a double-engine sarkar. I thought we were a federal government, and then this is something which is a slight on the Constitution of India. Maybe the Prime Minister now wants to convert it into a unitary system, and then he's talking about elections where we are electing the same parties. I thought we were working perfectly well earlier also, but if this is what the BJP wants, then they should come straight out and say, abolish the Indian Federation, abolish the Constitution of India. Don't believe in it, because we are going to have one party, only then the states are going to get advantages of development. It's a sad day, and that's what I can say. And give the credit where it's due, but if you want to use it as a political leverage and use the government infrastructure for political rallies, which is what Yogi Adityanath is doing, then the people of UP are watching.
All right, okay. Yeah. And the people of UP will answer when the time comes. Gopal Krishna Agrawal, you're taking credit for something which was already put in motion by earlier governments. You're blaming them wrongly, is what the opposition is cornering you with today.
Preeti ji, we have to understand one thing. Basic discussion is whether development like airport, expressways, defense corridor, film cities are good for the state or not. So if the Preeti ji, Juhi ji and Akhilesh Yadav ji's statements we look into, they are quite contrary. You can say that how this infrastructure have been built, you can question them. But first you have to agree that there is a marked difference in way the projects are being implemented on the ground, the timeline in which projects are being implemented, the amount, there are still for almost before we came to power, only 72 airports in the country in 70 years. In this 7 years, we have been able to build 64 new airports, 85% new airports in 7 days in comparison to 70 years. That is the pace at which we are building infrastructure connectivity. There is a Dadri multimodal transportation hub. There are expressways, FNG is being built, Eastern Peripheral Road is being built, Ganga Expressway, Purvanchal Expressway, Defense Corridor. And the pace is that it was 11 kilometers per day of highway.
Okay.
And now it is almost 35 kilometers per day. So this is bringing the new change. Yes, today also Pradhan Mantri ji had a Pragati meeting where held up projects are being implemented. We are always saying that earlier governments used to announce projects but not implement them on the ground. Prime Minister has said on the stage today that earlier government had refused, that we don't want this airport in Jewar. So now if they want to take a credit, how can that be? If they have written to the central government that we don't want this Jewar project, how they want to take credit?
You know, Juhi Singh is shaking her head. I want to go to Juhi Singh, but I want to introduce Pankhuri Pathak as well into this conversation. You know, Ms. Pathak, you represent the Congress, and the charge by the BJP is you had 60 years, you know, to effect this change. Why grudge it if it's happening now?
Preeti ji, is this the first airport of India? Is this the first time India has built the airport? And the way this event was, the way it was advertised and the PR around it, it seemed like it is either the first airport of India or the airport is already functional. It is already, the flights are taking off. It was advertised in a manner. When the reality is that the land has only been acquired, that too for the first phase. The government just wanted a PR event right before UP elections and they got it. The way everything was advertised was as if in these last 5 years, they have been able to build this airport. And even the acquisition is not perfect. Even though we have a land acquisition act in place, yet farmers were denied the compensation that they're supposed to get under the act. A lot of farmers, hundreds of farmers are still living under tents. They're out in the open. This is what the double engine ki sarkar is giving to the people. I heard the Prime Minister was saying something about people wearing Hawaii chappal, traveling in aeroplanes now. But the reality is people who used to travel in cars, they can't afford the diesel and petrol today. So this is the reality of the common people, and no matter of prachar is going to change the real situation on ground. The PM also needs to understand that politics is not just about having these mega PR events. There is a ground reality that needs to be addressed, and in Jewar, it has not been addressed.
All right, well, like I said, you know, we can continue to kingdom come with these debates in studios. We'll only know when that last vote is counted. But Juhi Singh, the word is that it's sour grapes where the Samajwadi Party is concerned. You were hoping to capitalize in Western UP, riding at the back of 3 farm laws. The Prime Minister takes back 3 farm laws, this mega event where he's launched a Vikas trip in the Kisan land, and it's irking the SP no end.
The Prime Minister and the Chief Minister have been on a political trip since they've been elected. I don't think any development has been initiated by them or has completed is a far thing to say. The Jewar Airport, please check, the BJP friend must check his records, and the Prime Minister must also be updated. It was not a proposal which was not sent by many, it was a proposal which was sent by many governments, including the BSP. I would not say it was just the SP proposal. They just mentioned the film city. What happened to the film city? The second film city you had announced, you're talking about the Purvanchal Expressway. We've already discussed that threadway. And the Kushinagar Airport, we'd already made the budgetary provisions. The land was acquired. We'd already made it. Why did you deny permission for that? They were, as Pankhuri rightly said, please check with your district magistrate who then acquired the first phase. There are huge discrepancies, and your own MLA has admitted it on record that we had to go ahead and lay down this foundation stone, but the land acquisition is not perfect. It's not been given to the farmers. Houses have not been given. So please get your own books into order. It's not a political pitch. Development should never be a political pitch.
I'm coming to Mr. Agrawal. All right, you know, Mr. Agrawal, the question is also, okay, let's keep the development aside. We've spoken about it. Let's talk about the politics of it. There are 2 important dates. The stone laying ceremony on the eve of Uttar Pradesh elections, and the airport will open in 2024 in September, when the mega general elections will happen. Why should we not say this is all political?
You can call it political or whatever is, but on the ground, it is in such a short span of time, we have been able to implement so many projects. At present, Uttar Pradesh has become is having 5 international airports, highest in any other state. In 2017, when we inherited Uttar Pradesh government, what was the status of Uttar Pradesh? it was a bottom Bimaru state, bottom 5 states in the country. Now it is on the ease of doing business. It is on the 2nd rank.
Oh,
so infrastructure, connectivity. Preeti ji, we have to understand you may call it politics, but on the ground, development is politics. That's what we are telling. We do politics when the Prime Minister said it is not only Rajniti, it is the Rashtra-niti. You do development of the country and then ask for votes.
All right, fair point. Fair point. That's the question, Pankudi. At least the charge of the BJP is they are not shown off the politics. They are okay. They are unabashed about using the Prime Minister as their campaign mascot. He's the biggest star that they have. They'll use him. They'll put the BJP flags when they inaugurate an airport. They're not shying away from the politics, but they're also saying they're delivering.
So the BJP spokesperson was talking about the number of airports that they have brought in the state. But the reality is, why is he not mentioning the number of airports that they have sold off and they have auctioned, the number of national resources, the number of platforms and the number of PSUs that they have sold off? He should also tell us that when are they going to auction off this airport to one of their friends. This is the reality of the BJP government, that they are selling off the existing resources. They cannot successfully run airports and railways on their own, but they will be the first to take credit of a simple land acquisition exercise, which is not even perfectly done. And today there are farmers who have gone to the court and they have challenged this acquisition, even though things have been so simplified.
Fair enough.
After the Acquisition Act, still they don't have the bill to give.
There's a charge which Juhi Singh, Mr. Agrawal, there's a charge which Juhi Singh from the Samajwadi Party also made earlier, which is you don't even have your acquisition policy intact and you're laying down foundation stones.
Preeti ji, I'll tell you 2 things. I was today at the airport inauguration ceremony. The enthusiasm from the people, they were dancing, shouting. There were lakhs and lakhs of people who had come to welcome this project. So on the ground, people are happy. We are implementing. We are not doing like this. You just sit on any project and think and think and think and do nothing. There are certain
hurdles. We will
implement them.
Juhi Singh, any reform, any change will meet resistance. At least they are doing it. You saw the people today. It might have been even an election rally of sorts which took place.
Preeti, they are not doing it, and they are issuing letters to the district magistrates, like in the case of Purvanchal Expressway, and requisitioning government transport buses to get people, and people are dancing. I would say to Mr. Agarwal, please do something about the economy of UP, about unemployment, about rising prices, about farmers, and you can celebrate all you want, but this is a political gimmick. Your land acquisition is not in place, sir. Don't lie on this panel.
May I, with the permission of my panelists? No, I wish I had the time, Mr. Agrawal. I wish I had
investment, 10 seconds. 10 seconds, this investment is an important issue.
No, but you made the point of this investment, but I need to cut you short because that's all the time that we have for. I'm sorry, these are the shortcomings of a television debate. We're going to go into a quick break. When we return, and we're going to keep a keen eye on how this story of this airport development develops, especially in a strip which till just about a few weeks ago was quite antagonized and angry at the government, the Kisans there. And it's for the voters to decide how they interpret that. A quick break. Up next is Gaurav Sawant.